reduce mentoring to one simple concept. It's us coming alongside someone who hasn't been where we have gone and help show them the way. I would never ask you to do anything that I haven't done. When I came to Communities in Schools 6 years ago, I wanted to mentor one of our students. I'm going to tell you a story, I've changed the name. This young man was a 5th grader, and at the time he was failing math. So we would meet on a weekly basis, 1 hour a week, and for us, our mentoring relationship was really working on math. 5th grade math, multiplication tables, very, very simple. We would work on math for about 30, 35 minutes, and then we played Yahtzee, which also is math if you work at it. And if you work very hard at Yahtzee, you can lose 30 weeks in a row, and I did. It's very, very tricky. When you get those 4 6s, you have to put them someplace with low point value. And Jesus and I would meet each week, and we did our work first, and then we played later. One time, Jesus brought one of his friends to our session, which was a little bit of a reward, and his friend told me, Jesus didn't tell me this, his friend told me that Jesus' dad was in prison, and he was going to be getting out in a couple of weeks, and Jesus was really worried about that. See, Jesus was introduced to me because he was failing math, but in the background, this young man had a mom who worked 2 jobs, a 15-year-old sister who was a parent, a dad who had abused the sister and the mother and was in jail and was going to get out. And Jesus, in addition to having language barriers and having a shortfall in his academic achievement, was also a kid who was abused by his father. We worked on math, right? But I became someone who he looked up to, even an old guy with a gray beard. He looked up to and he listened to. When Jesus moved to the 6th grade at Villay Middle School, Jesus came in one time and said, "Mr. Gary, my math teacher's so mean to me." "Well, why is she mean to you?" "I don't know, she always tells me to pay attention." So Jesus, let me tell you something. Here's the way teachers work, because I'm married to one. If you will look at her when she's teaching you, and you will not talk, and you will do your work, she'll be nice. In fact, when you walk in each day, say, "Good morning, Mrs. whatever her name is," and she'll say good morning back. A week later, Jesus comes into the library and goes, "Mr. Gary, you were right. My teacher really is nice." That's really, really simple, but we help to show them what Dr. Ruby Payne, in A Framework for Understanding Poverty, calls the hidden rules of the middle class. In Dr. Ruby Payne's work, and it's really simple read for you, Framework for Understanding Poverty, she breaks down that our society is based on 3 class systems: the welfare class, the middle class, and the wealth class. And I would guess, without looking at your bank account, we're all pretty much in the middle class. Let me ask you, do you have a favorite restaurant in Europe? Okay, you said no already, you're not in the wealth class. So let's just go ahead and move to the poverty class. Can you obtain a handgun without a permit? Do you know how to move out of an apartment in half a day? Do you know how to bail a loved one out of jail? Probably not in the poverty class. I think we're all pretty much middle class. Well, Jesus came from a class that didn't understand the hidden rules of our society. In Jesus' world, I can never tell him fighting is wrong. Fighting at school is wrong. Fighting to solve your problems is wrong. Using words to solve disagreements is correct. But in his community, where his cousin belongs to Sewer Tresse, a Louisville gang, and he has to defend himself in the mobile home park that is rife with gangs and drugs, he has to defend himself in his world. I tell Jesus fighting at school is wrong. In school, we function by a different set of rules, and it's the rules you need to learn and understand to be successful in life. How you have to survive, I understand and I respect that, but let me show you how to be successful. I'm not a big guy on stats. I love stories, but I will tell you one stat that I think will really lock this in for you. 80% of all Texas prison inmates did not graduate from high school. I won't bore you with the cost of a Texas prison inmate. I won't bore you with the cost of you guys donating time for free to help a kid graduate. Those are pretty obvious, pretty intuitive. 80% of Texas prison inmates didn't graduate from high school. That, to me, says mentoring has to work.